Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about how people afford a hair transplant. Now, as you guys know, back in 2016 of November, I went to Seoul, South Korea to get my 1700 graft FUE hair transplant. And I got it done at a clinic called the Motion Hair Clinic. And I spent about $5,000 USD. So that's probably going to come out to be about $3 per graft, which is a lot cheaper than what you'd find in the US. But yeah, this was probably one of the best decisions that I've made to reconstruct my hairline so that I can get a more youthful look. But obviously hair transplants are going to be expensive depending on the doctor, depending on which country that you go to. The different methods, whether you go with an FUE or an FUT, the number of grafts and how severe your hair loss is. So all those are going to contribute to how much a hair transplant is going to cost. So depending on all those different factors, the cost can vary greatly. Now, I got mine done in South Korea at Motion Clinic because I actually had two of my friends that got theirs at the same clinic that I went to, and having seen them in person, they had great results, and I really liked how natural their hairline looked. The angle, direction of the hair, everything was natural. And after a year after they had their hair transplant, it was kind of difficult to really notice that they actually had one done. The doctor was reputable. I did a lot of research on the Korean hair loss forums. What else? The pricing was affordable. He had a great a group of technicians that he's been working with for a while, so they're all experienced, they're highly trained. But yeah, so that's why I ended up going there. Now let me go ahead and break down some of the common costs of an FUE hair transplant in the US. Now in the US, an FUE can cost anywhere from $5 to $8 per graft. So if you were getting a 2,000 graft hair transplant, that's going to run anywhere from $10,000 to $16,000. And a 2,000 hair transplant is a pretty minor procedure. So someone like me, I had 1,700. As you can see, I don't have a whole lot of hair loss. So imagine somebody that's losing twice the amount of hair that I'm losing. That's gonna put them somewhere between $20,000 to $32,000. A good example can be Hassan and Wong. He's one of the more well-known doctors, and I think he charges $5 per graft for an FUT and $8 for an FUE. We also have Dr. Umar from Los Angeles, California. Now he specializes in body hair transplants, and I've seen a lot of YouTube videos of his. He does a great job of rebuilding the hairline, and he charges anywhere from $7 to $8 per graft. So if you are getting a 2,000 hair transplant, that's gonna put you somewhere in the range of $16,000 and upwards, depending on the severity of your hair loss. Now I paid about $3 per graft for mine. I had 1,700 grafts, which comes out to be roughly around $5,000. If you get it done in India or Turkey, I've seen some really good doctors with competitive rates. They charge somewhere between $1 to $1.50 per graft, and this is with an FUE. Now you're not going to find an FUE for that price anywhere in the US. And the good thing with India and Turkey, and also with like South Korea, is you can haggle. I feel like you can haggle a lot more than what you could in the US. Some of the doctors in the US, especially the well-known ones, they're pretty much set on how much they're charging per graft. But with India and Turkey, the cost of living is a lot lower, so they're more open to, willing to work out a price with you. A lot of times they also offer, free accommodations, free transportation, which is pretty nice. So, if you guys are wondering, how did I afford my hair transplant? Well, you know, I'm not rich or anything like that. I do work full-time. And so pretty much what I did was I set aside some money every 2 weeks. I planned everything about a year ahead of time. And so I started saving about $300 each month, or not each month, every pay period for a whole year. And that came out to be about $7,000. So my hair transplant itself was $5,000. I spent about $750 for my airfare, and I spent about $1,000 for food and lodging for about a 2-week stay in South Korea. And also, you know, I don't have kids or anything like that. I'm single, so I think that kind of helped me save a little bit more than, you know, if I had kids, then, you know, it'd be more difficult. But, you know, ultimately, you know, I think the thing that really got me to save money was that motivation, because I really wanted a hair transplant for a long time. You know, I was never really satisfied with the way that my hair looked, and especially with the receding temples. I really wanted to get it done, you know, and, you know, bring it down lower so that I can have a smaller forehead. But yeah, you know, I've done a lot of research over the years, you know, at doctors, different methods, things that I should be looking out for, you know, questions that I should be asking doctors. And so, you know, finally, when I knew that I could save up the money, I was, you know, really excited that I can finally get this procedure done. Now, obviously, if you can't save $300 every pay period, you want to save as much as you can, you know, depending on your current financial situation. But you know, if you can't save any money at all, if your job doesn't allow you to save money, you know, another option would be to look for a second part-time job so that you can supplement your income for your future hair transplant. But yeah, number two, the other method is to finance it. Now, I know a lot of people don't like financing, but you know, if you can't save up money, but you do have a source of income, financing would be a great way. Now, you know, a lot of the hair clinics offer in-housing financing, but you never want to go with them because they normally offer a really high interest rate. So what you can do is you can look for credit card companies online, or you can go to your local credit union. And a lot of times they offer 0% interest rates for up to 15 months, maybe even 24 months. And so that's going to help you, you know, instead of paying everything up front, you guys can, you know, pay a monthly payment, you know, as long as you guys, you know, paid within the promotional rate, so that you guys won't have to pay for the interest. But yeah, there's two options, you know, it's either you pay for it, you save money, you pay for it, or you finance it. There's no other way to afford a hair transplant other than the two methods that I discussed. Now, some people think insurance is going to cover it. For the most part, it's not, because hair transplant is considered a cosmetic surgery or procedure, and you know, it's not a medical necessity. So if you're counting on being able to afford a hair transplant through your insurance, it's unfortunately not going to work. But yeah, those are the two ways you guys can afford a hair transplant. If you guys have any questions, let me know. You guys can, you know, feel free to leave me some comments on which method you went with, whether you saved money, you know, how long it took you, or if you went the financing route. Let me know. Check out my other videos, like my videos, subscribe, and once again, thanks for watching, guys. Take care.